Hello and welcome to Real Watchers Movie Club. My name is Garrett.
And I'm Kevin.
And we are your hosts. Movie Club is a show where we pick a movie and discuss it every week, just like a book club. On today's show, we are covering the adventure thriller, Sorcerer. Our thoughts and more are coming up on Movie Club. Released in 1977, Sorcerer was directed by William Friedkin and stars Roy Scheider, Bruno Kramer, and Francisco Rubal. Sorry if there's any mispronunciation of those names. Four men from different parts of the globe, all hiding from their pasts in the same remote South American town, agree to risk their lives transporting several cases of dynamite, which are so old that they're dripping unstable nitroglycerin, across dangerous jungle terrain. It has a 3.9 out of 5 on Letterboxd and is currently ranked number 208 on its top 250. The film was nominated for one Academy Award for Best Sound. Before we dive into our thoughts, though, we do want to issue a spoiler warning for Sorcerer. Not a lot of people have seen this movie, it turns out. So if you don't want to get spoiled on it or what happens, go and watch it and then come back. You might have to rent it right now. I purchased it as a part of the Criterion sale, so I didn't have to rent it, but you might have to rent it if you're watching it on streaming. But stay tuned to the end of the show to find out what movie we're covering next week, because it's a big one.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Kevin. So Sorcerer this week is my pick. And the reasoning for this pick is really simple. I just really wanted to watch it.
Easy enough.
Exactly. I've heard this mentioned a lot when it comes to just other YouTube channels and things that talk about movies, and people kind of talking about underrated films that not a lot of people appreciate, at least when they come out, but love it now. And so that's how I was introduced to it. And there's also another film that this is based off of called The Wages of Fear, which was a part of the scheduled stuff that we were doing.
Yep.
But that has changed. We'll kind of talk about that next week. But this is a movie that I've been really wanting to watch for a while. So I'm very excited to actually be able to talk about it today. Obviously, had you heard about this movie at all before I picked it?
I have not, but when we talked yesterday after the live stream of the little history lesson that you gave me, it's very intriguing. It's kind of got like a cult classic following right now because of, we'll get into it, but of how I think is good. So, but no, I didn't hear anything about it. I think I knew the Exorcist director made it. That's basically it. That's all I knew. And you know what? That's okay with some movies. You come in as blind as a bat, it'll be perfectly fine.
Gotcha. And I think that is one of the most well-known things about this movie. And we'll kind of delve into the history a little bit here. So this movie is considered one of the biggest flops of all time. It's in the book, actually right over my shoulder that I'm reading, Box Office Poison, which goes over the biggest flops of all time because this movie was a bigger budget than Exorcist. This was kind of given to Friedkin to make the film he wanted to make. And unfortunately, it was made between two studios. I want to say it was Paramount and Universal were co-making this, and neither one of them wanted really anything to do with it. So it wasn't marketed correctly. It wasn't advertised. And then unfortunately, this movie was released 1 week after Star Wars released in theaters and completely just destroyed everything. So it was kind of doomed from the studio perspective from the start, unfortunately. But this movie definitely deserved more airtime. It is a great movie, as we'll get into right now. So, Kevin, what were your overall thoughts kind of walking out of it for the first time?
My overall thoughts was this was a great adventure movie. I thought it was going to be more of an action because I didn't see what type of genre it was when I looked this up either. So, but man, it's a great adventure movie going through the treacherous terrain with explosives in the back, and it kept you in a lot of suspense when that happens. And I really liked it because there's certain situations that they get stuck up on and you're like, oh my gosh, they have C4 in the back. It's like, and the anticipation, like one of the scenes is when the truck gets stuck on the bridge that's rotting, and the tire keeps going up and you're like, oh my gosh, dude, it's gonna fucking blow every single time. And that suspense I really enjoyed in this movie.
Oh yeah, that's probably one of the best parts about it. Is really its tension, and that's actually kind of a great place to start because I think there are so many wonderful moments of tension in this movie. I'm guessing the one you were talking about was towards the beginning of their journey when they were on like the side of the cliff and the wheel kind of falls through.
No,
Or are you
it's
talking about the river bridge?
the river bridge where it's rotted away
Oh, okay,
and
yeah.
breaks
Both
through.
are incredibly tense.
Yes, but this one I'm like, something has to happen here because
Oh
I
man.
get with the camera shots make it feel like something's about to happen, even though spoiler alert, nothing happens. But it's like the camera shot panning, pan, cut, pan, and you're like, bro, something has to give here. And then it's like, oh no, they're good. I'm like, bro, my heart, I was having heart palpitations during this and stuff. Like, and but another thing I really enjoyed it was the scenery in this.
Mhm.
Like the jungle scenery. I thought that looked freaking beautiful every single time. Um, I mean the characters are fantastic as well. But back to just the suspense in this movie is it's unparalleled. I think like it's not a suspense as in like a horror movie suspense. It's more like okay, I know what's in the back of that truck. How are they going to get through this without blowing themselves up, pretty much?
Yeah. Excuse me. I don't know why I'm yawning. It's not you. I just got off work. Um, No, it's literally it's manufactured suspense, but like it's also because of the situation, right? Like
Mhm.
any movement will set this off. Obviously, this is not how nitroglycerin actually works,
No.
but it does within the movie's framework, within this world it's created. That's how it works, and
Yeah.
that creates these intense moments, like on the side of the cliff with
Mhm.
the Frenchman and the. I want to say he's Arabic, but I don't want to get that wrong. I want to get the names correct here, with Serrano and Martinez
Mhm.
in Sorcerer, the truck Sorcerer.
Mhm.
Um, when their tire gets stuck and they just both look at each other like, oh shit, you know, that is really intense. And just like seeing the sand shift with the boxes, and you're like, oh no.
I love that scene too because they didn't need to put that in there because we know what's in the back of it. It doesn't matter. But
Mhm.
the thing is, when they put that in there and it shifts just a tiny bit, and you're like, oh shit. Like it's just a little thing too. It's like a maybe a 1 second frame of it, but it gives it so much more suspense in that movie because of what the circumstances is, which I really enjoyed.
100%.
Hmm.
And the one thing that I think contributes to the suspense really, really well is that I think of those scenes. I think of the cliffside
Yep.
with the two and the tire getting stuck. I
Hmm.
think of both vehicles getting stuck on the bridge over the
Hmm.
river.
Hmm.
You know, I think of the tree that's blocking their path,
Great
and
innovative thing that happens with I think it's Spider who's the character, correct?
it is Martinez.
Martinez. Okay, yeah. What he does with the sea fart really cool. So, but keep going.
Yeah, and what's but and then the other last one is the militants at the end that take Roy Scheider and I want to say Francisco Rabal captive.
Yeah.
Um, what's really unique about that is I don't know if you noticed this, no music.
No, there
It's
was no.
all sound.
And you know what? You could have told me that while I was watching the movie. I probably wouldn't even notice because maybe I put my own little like music in it or something. Because music always comes to mind when like suspense parts happen in movies. But
Mhm.
I love how there wasn't music. It's like when we talk about Interstellar and there's no music in space or anything like that. It's just that
Yeah,
dead silence. I think it works so well in this movie too.
yeah, it's brilliant, and it heightens the um, the suspense of everything going on. Right, it's
Oh yeah.
making you pay attention to everything that you're seeing and hearing,
Hmm.
um, and it just adds to it. But also, I do want to call out the sound design is incredible, nominated for an Academy Award. Unfortunately, there was one film better that came out that year that had better sound effects,
Uh,
which Star
it
Wars.
was in space.
Yep, there you go. But the sound design is incredible, but also the score for this movie
Hmm.
just the synth heavy. It's by Tangerine Dream, who's a music
I've heard that name
band.
before.
Yeah, they've done a couple of movies. They also did a movie called The Keep by Michael Mann, which is cool. This is such a great score because it's so minimalistic, and it kind of just it punctuates every scene. It doesn't overtake it. It doesn't create these swells of emotion because that's all happening from the way Friedkin and the actors are doing everything, right? And the crew. I don't want to leave the crew out. But it accentuates it. It gives it. It's putting the oregano on the pasta, so to speak.
Yeah, it's
right?
it's like the dish that just needs a little bit more seasoning or something, and just you sprinkle it on there, and it's like, oh, this is perfect.
I also meant to say parsley, not oregano. You don't sprinkle oregano on pasta. You sprinkle parsley. But anyhow, yeah, the score is fantastic. But then, one of the other things that I noticed and I really loved about this movie, and I'm curious to see if you picked up on this as well, is that these are not good people. They're, in any other story, they are villains.
Yeah.
You got the gangster, you got the fraudster, you have the assassin or the hitman, and you have the terrorist.
Yes.
And there's no redemption.
No, and I think that's what's kind of nice about this as well. It's just this is what you're served up. This is what happens, pretty much. And I really like that. I mean, but in my mind, I felt like they did serve a purpose in this. Maybe they didn't get their full flowers, but in this movie, I'm like, wow, they really not redeemed themselves, but they made it not about themselves. I feel like.
Yeah, it's they're doing the job because it needs to be done and they need to get paid, and they happen to be the ones that are available to do it, and are the best people for the job, right?
Exactly.
But another thing that I really enjoyed about this movie too is that there's this dark air that hangs over the whole thing. Yeah, it's like a cold feeling, right? Nothing positive happens in this movie. The characters get small wins. They don't blow up when their vehicle gets stuck on that cliffside. They blow up the tree and get it out of the way. They escape their things that are happening to them where they come from. But they don't get redemption. They're not heroes. They're just realistic characters, and in a realistic environment. It's a dark and depressing movie for sure, but I don't know. I love it.
It's not your happy rainbow and sunshine's removed kind of movie, but it's good in that aspect in that movie, just because it's so. I want to say it's more grounded. It's more like, yeah, these people wouldn't get a second chance. Why would these people get happy music? Why would these people want to do what they do? They don't like the job, but they have to do it. So why give them a purpose to do it, if that makes any sense, if you catch what my drift? It's like,
yeah.
It's like, it's not like,
for survival.
I'm not going to do this to go see my family. It's like, no, I'm doing this for the money, period. Like, there's no, they don't need an explanation for it.
Yeah, it's for survival, pure and simple. And they all get their reward, right? Obviously the only person I would say who's not the least bad of them all is the Frenchman, the fraudster.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously he committed financial crimes, but he didn't kill people. He didn't rob anyone. It was just a financial crime. So he's again, not good. I'm not saying that's good, but I'm saying it's the least bad of all of them.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that he and I want to say it's Martinez is the character's name. The terrorist character.
Yeah.
They have. It's funny because they get to have a genuine moment between the two of them, where you think oh man, they're they could actually become friends. They're having this positive moment, and then just
on a dime,
literally just not even that length of time, they fall off the edge of the road and explode.
And blow up. So and that's this movie, like how we're saying that there's no happy rainbows and sunshine in this movie. You get that little piece of like, man, they could be friends, and the movie's like, now we're going to take that away right here because this is a dark movie. They're not going to get their happy ending.
It's really funny because there's been a long time before since I've had a movie where that has happened, and I audibly went, no. Like, because it came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But like, and it's interesting though, because there's obviously no way. I would say each character gets what's coming to them akin to what their crime is.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously the terrorist is in the vehicle and it explodes. He causes an explosion earlier in the movie. Yep. The Frenchman is also in the car. He didn't do anything with explosives, but his companion, partner, whatever, did kill himself in a car. So dying in a car kind of makes sense, I guess. But then obviously the assassin character is shot, which he shoots someone in the beginning of the movie, and also shoots the older guy who's supposed to go with them.
And then I think Spider says that he calls him a murderer like right then and there, but they need an extra guy, right? That's what I'm thinking of, right?
Spider is not the character you're thinking of, I don't think.
Okay.
You're thinking of Martinez, the terrorist character.
Okay, I am.
He was the one that was like, "Oh, you're a murderer" or whatever. But then, they're like, "Well, we got to do it." But then, so then obviously the assassin dies from being shot. But then Roy Scheider or Dominguez, his story we don't get a concrete ending, but the gangsters arrive in town.
Yeah.
So you're like, he's going out by the people who wanted to, take him out in the first place. Yeah. So it's interesting. Like it's an attempt to give purpose. It's this attempt to make them have some sort of redemption, but they don't get it because, bad people don't necessarily get to have that. Exactly. But then last point I wanted to make though is that I do like how the trucks are as much characters in this movie as the characters themselves. Mm-hmm. Like I want a model of that truck, like both of them, so bad. Like they're so cool looking.
Because they're an important part of this movie, even though they can't talk or don't have any speaking lines. But at the back end of this movie, you are with the truck and you are with the characters, and that is it. I mean, you're in the jungle and all that stuff, but it's like those trucks could do anything. Because, I mean, they're vehicles, so they could blow up at any time. They can stop at any time. They can just kaput. So you don't know, which is cool how old school the trucks look, too. Because in the back of my head, I was like, these trucks can just malfunction and just stop working for like a day. But never really happens. But in the back of your mind, you always think that because of how... It's weird how the truck did not sound good either when they were doing stuff, and I'm like,
well, it sounds like they are like it sounds like them being all beaten down and
exactly.
I want to know if you caught the visual cue, but there is of course the iconic shot of the bridge sequence and the truck coming right towards Martinez as he falls through the bridge and everything.
Yeah.
The way that the truck, which is Sorcerer, the Sorcerer is the name of the truck. The way that truck looks directly mirrors that like ancient Aztec or Mayan marker that they pass by, which I don't know if that's a sign of like, well, obviously they die, so maybe that's some sort of foreshadowing. But but it's cool because it makes that truck look like a creature just coming up on Martinez. Man, it's such a good scene. Literally one of my favorite moments, I think, of any movie I've seen ever.
It looks like it's alive. That's what it looks like, even though we know it's a truck. But when I'm looking at the poster for this movie too right now, and it looks like that. It looks like it looks like a horror movie. Like the truck is gonna run him over. He has his hand up and everything, but you're like, oh my gosh, it just feels so eerie, and you're like, why does it feel eerie though? Because
but it's good eerie, like almost reminds me of like a Jurassic Park type look to the poster. But one other thing, I do want to kind of talk about a criticism for this. I do think that this movie does take a tad too long to get to the actual job, like to the driving, right? It's about 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
But like again, like there's not that anything that happens in that first half is bad. It's very good stuff. And I like seeing everything with the characters and how they're trying to survive in this oil town. But I would say it just takes a tad too long to get there.
I feel like maybe we could have not like cut out any of the background stuff, but like maybe could have showed me like flashbacks of it while they're on their trip or before they get the job when they meet everybody. I think that would have been a little bit just to make it a little bit, I don't want to say shorter, but just a little bit more intensive.
Focused.
Yeah, focused. And then okay, now we can get to the big action parts and stuff. So
Sure.
I totally agree with you when I was watching because you warned me about it yesterday, after the stream, and I was like, yeah, I can see where he's going with this because it was like, and not I don't want to say dragging, but it was just like, okay, that's that guy. That's that guy, and it wasn't, and it didn't like kind of put them together all at once, and then until they finally do get together.
Yeah, it's all in the service of like, you can't have this entire movie be everything that happens in the back half, because I mean, poor 1977 people would probably be having heart attacks in the theater, but like. You need to save the good stuff for later. Not that not that there's bad stuff in the beginning.
No.
It's not bad. It's very good. It's just it's a tad too long. Also, I know William Friedkin really wanted it, and I know that he had to fight to make it. I don't like Sorcerer as the title for this movie.
I would understand it if, do they even call the truck Sorcerer in this movie?
The truck that the Frenchman and the terrorist are in is called Sorcerer.
But do they ever say it?
No, but it's written on the vehicle. You see it at one point.
So the thing is, if they would have said it a lot more, I think it would have been perfect. But just the little sorcerer on the side, I don't think is a good fit for this movie. I just don't know, what would you call it though?
I think because it's based on the Wages of Fear, I would probably have just called it that. That's a great title. But like, I think Sorcerer. The problem with Sorcerer is that this was his film after The Exorcist. And there were a lot of movies that came out after The Exorcist that tried to capitalize on that success with names like Sorcerer. So a lot of people thought that Sorcerer was just another Exorcist movie, which because it's like, a sorcerer is like a magic caster. My D&D brain, right? Like it's a class, but. I think something like The Wages of Fear, just off the top of my head, is a great title instead, or, I don't know, something like.
I was gonna say like
Dynamite Run or something.
I was gonna say TNT Dynamite or something like that, or I don't know, like because Sorcerer is, like you said, it's something else when I think about it first, not the movie.
I will say Sorcerer is a shorter title, and it does at least create some sort of interest. Everyone that I've told, oh yeah, I watched Sorcerer, and they're like, what the heck is Sorcerer? And I'm like, oh, and explaining it, and they're like, oh my god, I thought it was gonna be like a fantasy movie, right? So it is a little misleading, but it does at least get some attention from people.
Exactly, and I think if they would have said it a lot more in the movie, like, hey, you two take the Sorcerer, we'll take the backup cars, pretty much, and then that would have been like, oh, okay, I get why they call it the Sorcerer now. So
yeah, exactly. And one last thing, I don't know if you picked up the small little visual Easter egg. I believe, it's on the Sorcerer truck, the one that the Frenchman drives. But before they leave, there's a chalk drawing on the hood between the two holes. Did you pick up on that?
I didn't. I'm gonna look at it again because
I think
just watched
if you're on Letterboxd and you try and change the backdrop of the,
I can't
film,
do that.
Oh well, I'll show you afterward. But it looks like the statue of Pazuzu from The Exorcist to me. So I'm wondering if it's a reference that Friedkin put in the movie. but it's just kind of something I noticed while I was watching the film, and then I saw that it was on the Letterboxd profile here. So, alrighty, Kevin. So this was my pick this week. So I'll go ahead and I'll go first here. Like, this is a movie that I was really excited to watch. I went in with no expectations, but was really excited to watch it the first time, and walked out, not watched out, whatever. I walked out having witnessed a masterwork. This is like someone who genuinely wanted to make this movie and loved every aspect of it. And I loved it as much because I thought it was just an incredible, tense movie with great suspense, an incredible score and sound design. The performances are fantastic across the board. And I think it is underappreciated. I think more people should check this movie out because it truly is something fantastic. I think that, it's a tad too long to get to the good stuff, but everything that happens is so good in the beginning that it is hard to really take too many points off of it for that. So I ended up giving the film a 99 out of 100, which is 4.5 stars out of 5 on Letterboxd, and actually was just in. We kind of got spoiled for this week. Was just in my the video I put out yesterday with my top 150 movies that remind me why I love film. So I absolutely love this movie. I'm so glad I own it now. I also bought The Wages of Fear, so I can't wait to check that out as well to see if it's just as good. But absolutely loved this movie.
Is The Wages of Fear in a different language, or?
Yes, it's a French movie from the 50s.
French movie. Okay, gotcha. Ooh, 50s. Interesting.
Yeah. So, what did you think of the movie?
I thought this movie was fantastic. A good adventure movie with decisions by the characters that are actually really cool. But I like how dark this movie is and never gives you a nice happy ending. And the suspense in this movie is it's great. I absolutely love it. The scenes in this movie too with the trucks and everything like that, absolutely enjoyed. But so I give this movie a 98 out of 100, which is 4.5 stars out of 5. But I love this movie. I really want to see the comparison between the other one now too.
Yeah, which if you want to borrow it after I'm done, I will more than happy to let you do that. But that's going to be it. So the question now falls to you. What did you all think of Sorcerer if you managed to watch it this week before we covered it? Because we did announce it last week. Go ahead and leave those comments in the comment section down below. Just remember to be respectful of one another because it's not hard to be nice, But next week, really excited, we're going to be taking a look at the gangster epic The Departed, which is Kevin's pick, so really excited to check that out. Make sure to watch it before next week so you're not spoiled. And that's it. Of course, we have our live stream that goes live every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where we go over movie news, reviews, and so much more. And of course, this show goes live every Friday at 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we always put out the odd occasional video every once in a while, like the one that I just put out on Wednesday, which is an update of a video from 2 years ago. So a couple other videos that are in the pipeline that I definitely want to kind of get out. So make sure you subscribe for those. But thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Movie Club. And until next time, keep those eyes on the screen.